Hello everyone, today we're going back into Visual Novel Maker. As you could see in my last video, I had to manually go back to the main screen, but there's actually an option to do that automatically. Now, what I hadn't known is that they actually have a manual, so you do not have to struggle like I did. Now that we have the manual, I'm going to want to start from the very beginning. Let's go through all the steps together. I'm also going to put timestamps so you can jump to whatever part that interests you. When you load up your new project, this is a sample scene that will greet you. You have absolutely no need for it really. It's just to sample what you can do. Here, this is where all the graphics, characters, and all sorts of stuff that they automatically give you is. Right here is all their characters that they already have. You also don't need any of this. I'm going to delete all of them. First thing you want to do is to import your own characters. Go to the characters file, you create a new group, change properties, change the name to whatever your character is. In my case, it's Cindy. You're going to have an invisible MC that's going to be you or the person playing. You're also going to want to have the folder. You're going to want to name it whatever you want. As you can see in my folder here, I have all of Cindy's emotions, and I also have this empty one that is supposed to be the MC. You need that even if the character does not show up. That way it will work. Now that they're all here, you see right here next to the picture, we're going to click that. This is where we want. These records we don't need. I'm going to keep the narrator. Here are the character expressions. I also don't need these. We're going to go to the characters. We're going to right click the narrator, and then we're going to create a new record. Going to change the name to Cindy. I do have the default expression, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'm also going to create a record for the MC. In this case, I didn't really name them. I don't know what the options are for when you're making a game for making the name personalized. I don't know what the options are for that just yet, but here's that. When we go to character expressions, I'm going to make a new folder. Here I'm going to make it into Cindy's folder. I'm going to make another folder. Now I'm going to go back to Cindy. I'm going to create a new record. Instead of putting the character name by itself, I'm going to put the emotion. What I'm going to want is different expressions for her, so I'm going to make them into separate records for easy access. Now that I'm done with Cindy, I'm going to go to the MC. I'm going to create a record for them as well. Even though there's zero picture that's going to show up, I still need this. Now that we're done with all that, we're going to want to delete the sample scene. Now that we have sample scene gone, I'm going to right click chapter, going to select new scene, going to name it beginning. Now that we have that, we're going to right click it and set as start scene. We're going to have to do that or else it will not work properly. Before I do anything else, I actually do want to change the font size. So I'm going to go to here, I'm going to go to here, I'm going to type in font. Click changing your game font. Right here has all the information you need to do this. I'm going to go back to here, I'm going to create a new CoffeeScript. I'm going to go back here, I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to grab it. There we go. But I actually messed up. You don't need all this. Now that we have this, I actually really like to up my font. I don't remember what I put it to, so I'm just going to put it at 40 for right now. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to save it again. Now that we have everything done, I'm going to start on the actual scene. First thing we need is the background. Background you can find in commands-background. Change background, click file. Now for me, because I am horrible at backgrounds, I'm just going to use one of their default ones. Background I'm looking for is in date locations. They have plenty of these. Right here is the bookstore. This is what I need. There we go. Next up, we're going to need Cindy to join the scene. That can be found in characters. There she is. You can also change where she starts from. For me, I'm going to put her into the middle. What we're going to want next is the message box. The message box can be found here in Commands-Message. You can change the style. There's 3 different styles. I leave it at the default. I want it to be visible. What I want next is to show message. It's in the same thing. I'm going to click that. I'm going to click who's talking. I'm going to click Cindy. Change Cindy's expression to talking. I'm going to put what she's saying. Cindy is saying hello, so I'm going to type that. Okay, clearly I messed up with something. Here's where it is, color. If you don't want it to be black, then I'm going to change it to white, which is just delete the color. Now that we have that, I'm going to save it. There it is. I like my font big. Now, as you can see, it's much more visible. Next up, we're going to want to call scene. That can be found in Commands-Scene. Going to name the next scene greet/ignore. But before we do that, we need to actually make the next scene. New scene, name it. Now that we have that, we can go back to beginning. Now we can call the scene. Move on to greet/ignore. Even though on the example it said you don't need to make the background and characters show up again, it didn't work for me before, so I'm just going to put them again. Now that we have all our previous done stuff, I'm going to go to add choices. Add choices is also in message. First choice I'm going to make into greet. The label, I'm going to label it the same as whatever the choice is. Second choice is ignore. Now that I have that, I want to show choices. After that, we're going to want a label. Label is in Commands-Basic. I'm going to name this greet. After that, I'm going to want to show message. I'm going to change Cindy's expression to a talking blush. I'm going to have her say that she saw you at the library. There it is. I'm going to make it where I can switch to layout. Switch to layout can be found in Commands-Scene. What I'm going to want to put is title layout. Layout is capitalized, not the full thing, just starting out. There we go. You can make it to where it saves progress or not. I'm going to leave it at no. Now that I'm done with that choice, I'm going to move on to the ignore. What I'm going to want is another label. I'm going to make this ignore message. Now, since it's neither character, I'm going to leave as narrator. I'm going to put in you ignored her. Now that I have that, what I'm going to want to do is change her expression. You can find change expression in Commands-character. Now I don't know why she's blushing actually. Either way, I have her with angry tears. Now next, I'm going to want her to leave scene, exit scene. There we go. You can also change what type of animation it is. There we go. Want her to leave like that. Now that I have this choice done, I'm going to want to go back to switch the layout and put it exactly as the other. I'm going to save. Going to hit new game. Hello. What? Why did she say hello twice? Hang on. Ah, because I added it twice. All right. Let's see if we can actually do what they say that we can and delete all this. All right, this is what it shows we can do. It says we can just put the add choice. See if we can actually do it. Hit play. New game. Hello. Now you have the choices. So it did actually work. The last time I tried it, it did not work. Anyway, let's greet her. I saw you at the library. And then it goes to title screen. I'm going to hit new game again. Hello. I'm going to hit ignore. You ignored her. She leaves. Now we have a full scene, and that is great. I'm so glad that actually worked that time because it did not last time, I swear. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed. That way you don't know because I did not hit my mic button until my last video. That took me 3.5 hours because I was trying to do it by myself. You can see how that didn't work out so well.